Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. There are no guarantees as we move forward, according to some government officials. Now, here's the thing. My thought is when it comes to our benefits, look, if you haven't filed for your benefits, for your disability conditions, get those filed, right? Get it solidified now. Once you have it, it is much harder to change anything, right? The reduction process, all of that is a whole other animal, and there's a lot of protections by law. Done videos on that. So look, the folks that should be the most worried are the folks that are going, I just haven't filed my claim yet. I've been out for X number of years. I haven't filed anything yet. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Get off the fence and file it, right? Put in your intent to file now, preserve today's date, and file it. There's an article that I found. This was actually on Newsweek. It was published and updated March 3rd, updated at 9:33 p.m., March 3rd, 2025. And I'm going to jump into this here, and it's basically about not being able to guarantee that veterans won't get hurt, right? So let's talk about it, see what's going on. Before we do, though, I want to throw on a very special thank you to Devin, the inspired filmmaker. Hey, that's pretty awesome. It's not much left to the imagination. I'm guessing that you are an inspired filmmaker, sir. So thank you so very much for the super comment, super chat. I really do appreciate it so very much. Devin, the inspired filmmaker. Thank you very much. All right, so jumping into this, the headline here is Republican can't guarantee Trump-backed budget cuts won't hurt veterans. It feels like a tongue twister. Well, anytime I read, it pretty much feels that way. But here we are. So with that, we're going to dive into it. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. If you want to support in other ways, consider being a member. I really do appreciate you. All members really do help support the channel, and I do my best to get back to you in the comments. All right, jumping into it here. Republican Representative Greg Murphy of North Carolina said he can't guarantee that budget cuts won't negatively affect veterans. And look, I'm going to tell you that if I was asked that question directly by a news publication, I would probably say the same thing. Look, I don't work for the VA, and I'm not making some of these decisions. So I can't guarantee the outcomes of anything, right? So saying that you can't guarantee, it might just be a safety mechanism for him and his reputation, right? Don't know. But as we read through it, we'll see exactly what he is saying and see if he actually dives in a little deeper. I think that we are definitely in uncharted waters for sure, and we'll go from there. All right, so since taking office at the end of January, President Trump has issued sweeping changes via executive orders and implemented the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, with the stated goal of cutting waste and abuse from the federal government's budget. Which, look, everybody should absolutely agree with that, right? With a goal of cutting waste and abuse from the federal government. No matter where you sit, anywhere, I think that everybody thinks and has thought at some point, wow, there's some waste and probably abuse in our government, and it's probably bloated. Just saying. So, but it's more about how you do it versus doing it. Not doing anything is probably not the right answer, so we have to do something, and no matter which way it happens, there's always going to be some negative aspects for sure, and but I do think that having a more precise approach is probably, a good thing. Anyway, moving on. Billionaire Elon Musk was initially tasked with leading Doge under Trump's guidance. Musk and Doge have initiated mass firings of government workers and made numerous cuts at federal agencies, including dismantling the United States Agency for International Development. Critics have accused the Trump administration of exceeding the power of the executive branch and has responded by filing a number of lawsuits intended to block executive orders and to limit the reach of Doge. What to know? During an interview with CNN's, I don't even know how to say the name, on Monday, Murphy was asked about budget cuts as more than 1,000 staff members from the Department of Veterans Affairs were let go. Murphy is vice chair of the Veterans Affairs Subcommittee on Health. Murphy was asked about what voters in his district think of the cuts. He replied in part by arguing that it was a national emergency to try to get our finances under control. He was then asked if veterans' benefits and care will not be affected by the financial restructuring. Murphy responded, "No, I can't guarantee anything," which I agree with. But the whole purpose again of restructuring is to make sure that the agency is efficient, Murphy added. And look, I care for our veterans. 1 out of 10 constituents of mine are veterans. It's a real issue in Eastern North Carolina. The real issue is also when somebody can't get benefits and they're put off their doctor's appointments for 8 months or 10 months when they can't get care. He continued, which I agree. I tried to sign up twice. First time I tried to get an appointment twice. First time was like, 5 months out. Then life changed and I couldn't make it to that appointment. I had to reschedule it and then it was out another 2 months. So here we are. Let's see. So that is where the agency has failed. We're trying to get an agency that actually works for the people that it's supposed to take care of. Progressive veterans group Vote Vets, responding to Murphy's remarks on a post to X, let's see, there's a quotation here. Republican Greg Murphy was asked point blank if veterans would lose their benefits due to GOP cuts. His answer, no, I can't guarantee anything. Well, that doesn't even seem like what was said above, first of all. So it's a funny thing, and this is where some of all the, look, when you're saying their benefits in this situation here, people automatically assume, okay, my disability compensation, my ability to get health care, all of that type of stuff. I haven't seen any evidence of that at this point. I mean, let me know if you have. I guess that you could say that if you lost doctors and nurses and staff to set up those appointments, maybe you've gotten a delay for healthcare. My delays for healthcare came prior to the new administration. So geographically, there was also issues prior to this with long wait times. So I think they kind of took it a little bit further than what he was saying, but whatever. Moving on. This is the Republican Party under the Trump shrugging off the well-being of veterans while pushing reckless cuts. They talk about supporting the troops, then refuse to stand up for them when it matters. So that was the post from Vote Vets on X regarding Murphy's quote of not being able to guarantee anything. So moving on. Let's see here. Another post on X. This is from a senator, a Democratic senator. Proud to meet with the veterans of foreign wars. Nearly 30% of federal workers are veterans. Americans who raised their hands to serve us in the armed forces and then continued that service in the federal government, cutting their jobs is a disgrace. It would have been nice if there was a little carve out, right? Moving on. The extent to which the Trump budget cuts could affect veterans remains unclear. Any further cuts or mass firings are all but certain to inspire additional backlash from veterans groups and advocates. The one thing that we did see, I'm looking to see if there's anything more in this. I don't see anything else. So the one thing that we did see was there was the cuts to all of the contracts. Like, hey, here's a blanket statement over X number of hundreds of contracts. They're all kind of frivolous. They're basically, creating PowerPoints or taking minutes for meetings, right? Minute notes. And, these should all be canceled. Boom, they all get canceled. Turns out some of those were, this is to repair, this is for annual inspections for this type of medical equipment, this is to repair the medical equipment, what have you. Oh, oops, well, let's reel that back. And so the VA did a 180 on that in a matter of a day or two, from saying they were canceling them all to, oh, some of those are actually mission critical, let's pull those back. I'm sure that that was a very tough lesson to learn, and hopefully it is a lesson learned that sure, getting rid of frivolous things we're all about. Getting rid of things that actually matter we're not about, and we need to make sure that we are actually looking to make sure that we are not pulling the rug out of important, out from underneath important things, right? If the medical equipment doesn't pass its annual test, it can't be used. If you can't use it, then you can't treat a veteran, right? So that type of stuff makes sense. So I hope that from that contract fiasco that we've actually learned something moving forward, that if something's recommended, it doesn't necessarily mean do it. It means inspect that situation and then make an educated and very specific move on the correct items to eliminate in that type of a situation. In any case, thanks for watching. I appreciate you so very much. Have a great one, and remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.